All right, hey everybody. I am setting up to do my thing today to go ahead and start my next few things for the fall crop, I guess. Yeah, that's what it is. I say, I guess. Well, if you live in Texas, anyway. And you know what? One thing has definitely been on my mind. I think anybody who's growing stuff, whether it's like you know, for fun, for benefit, for whatever. You definitely can't help but to notice, a lot of stuff that's going on with, the food quality and stuff like that. And I don't know, for me, in my head, as these recalls start getting worse and worse, you know, yeah, part of me in the back of my head's thinking, how long is it going to take to really reverse those things? You know what I mean? I know it's not everything. It's not everything being recalled, of course. You know, it's not, for some people, it's not some of the stuff that they buy. It's not even some stuff that they buy, but there are people out there getting sick. There are people out there, I don't think there's been any deaths, but this, it's a thing, it's out there. There are some food items that can make you sick, can kill you. Um, it's kind of crazy that we got to this point now. We're at this point, but in the back of my head, it's like, how long is it going to take to reverse all this stuff? You know what I mean? With everything happening, all the cutbacks and stuff like that, and then we got issues with water, got issues with electricity. I don't know. It kind of makes you think, man. Um, for me, I like growing stuff. I don't think I'll ever stop growing things. You know what I mean? Trying to undo this fence. I'm not doing a great job. But there's something in the back of my head that says, you know what? I think, growing your own stuff might just be more beneficial. But for how long? You know what I mean? How long is that going to be beneficial for? Where a hobby turns into something where you might need to focus on a lot more, or I don't know, you could make something out of it, make a career out of it or something. But to some point, um, sorry, allergies are already starting. To some point, it feels like growing stuff in your backyard for your household, for your family, neighbors, if they aren't jerks. Um, if they are jerks, I guess you still share it anyway. Like, you know, like a community thing. People come together and actually grow things together. What happens if people actually do that? Like, rise of community gardens, stuff like that. Farmers markets in more local places than, that are just out in the middle of nowhere. Maybe farmers markets that are in, uh, neighborhood farmers markets or something. Um, Doing a trade, set up a trade route or something in your local neighborhood. People coming together. Like, what happens if people actually do that? You know what I mean? Because I'm pretty sure this week, people who still decide to watch the news wake up and see every day there's something new being recalled. Now we got stuff with beef. I don't even know how to solve that problem with meat unless Once I start getting into raising things that make my own meat, I don't know. I haven't thought that far. I just think about growing stuff. That's like my start and end of the day. I know I can grow things, pretty decent at it. I mean, I grew everything out of here, stuff from the neighborhood. Most of the vital things were for free. So as your fertilizer gets expensive, your meat gets expensive, things get recalled. I feel like there is just a little bit more of an importance to maybe take more of an interest in growing stuff. Just start with your own house. First of all, see where that goes. See how much stuff you save. What can you make out of what you've grown? You know, you might even make a product that you can share with other people that helps, crops produce better than stuff on the shelf. I don't know. It's just a little thing that's been this week. I mean, at first I felt a little out of place because it's my growing blog. So, you know, wouldn't think I was make a video about that. But I don't know, man. I pay attention to a lot of stuff. Maybe I pay attention to more than I should, but I do feel like that for people who already have an interest in growing their own stuff, maybe there should be more of an interest. And fall's coming anyway. Hopefully the weather's going to calm down. It's not going to feel like, a giant heat plate here in Texas. Well, it probably will for the next couple of weeks until things cool down. But for the most part, like growing stuff just seems to be something that always works for me. So why not take that as far as I can? You know what I mean? I think maybe, I don't know, maybe this growing blog is like what I'm doing. Um, Growing stuff that I've been a little bit nervous to start growing. Like I want to try and grow cauliflower. I don't really eat that, but I'm going to try and grow it. Cabbage, stuff like that. I just want to see the process of how it goes. How good can it be? Now I can grow okra without even thinking about it. You know, and uh, watermelons, cantaloupes, stuff like that. Cantaloupes that I grew, the ones that survived, that didn't get eat up from whatever's in there, were really good. That's fruit. That's almost 80-90% water that you need in your body anyway. That's something vital for you that I grew for free. It was just hard work and some frustration. So I don't know. I think sometimes that things get recalled, but it's like, you know, how long is it going to take for the recalls to stop? You know what I mean? Like, is it going to get to a point where it's like, might really want to stay? You know what I mean? Like, taking an interest in growing stuff next year might set you back more than you realize. And I'm not trying to fear monger. I'm just noticing some stuff that just seems kind of like a lot of things out of bounds uh, are happening than maybe some of us like to admit, you know? But that's just me. Maybe this is my TED Talk that I feel generally for people who are growers, grow in your backyard or have a farm, whatever, or just grow for their own household. Like, I think it's like, I don't know, a point to really settle in and think about really, how far can you really try and go maybe this season to see how things go. Because part of me feels like, we don't know what's going to happen, what we expect, but I know that there's an appreciation and a satisfaction to growing your own stuff. And you got lettuce in your backyard that isn't gonna, make you trying to think, poop out your whole life with regret, in an unhealthy manner. it might be a good place to start. But anyway, that's just me. It's my little video. It's only 10 minutes. I was just kind of something on my mind to think about. I don't know if everybody else is thinking the same thing, uh, but nevertheless, I'll post it anyway. I mean, it's growing vlog. Sometimes you post how you feel, what you think, where you're at. That's part of a vlog too, isn't it? I think. I don't know. Yeah, a little bit of a personal thing for me. I'm still trying to get this fence unlocked, and I can't do it with one hand. So I'm going to go ahead and end this video now. And that's just kind of on my mind. That was kind of what I've been thinking about um, as things go on. So maybe everybody else thinks the same thing too. I don't know if anybody was disappointed that I didn't show off any plants today. Give me a couple of days. I'm still waiting on my chip drop. Apparently, I won a free pallet of garden soil, so that was cool. When it comes in, I'll share the link where I got it from. That'll take another, I don't know, a week or so. So, there's some updates going on. Another couple of days, I'll do another video on the garden. But this is just me blabbing, running my mouth about things going on outside of the garden, I guess. But that's it. Hopefully everybody is having a good Sunday, enjoying your day. If you're out there in the garden, enjoy your garden. If you haven't started your fall crop, it's a good idea to start very, very soon. If not this week, you might want to start next week, or something. But anyway, that's it. I will see you guys later. Good luck in your garden. Good luck with everything. Everything else, good luck. Don't eat any recalled food, whatever. Get to know your neighbors in a friendly way. Do your best not to stress them out, especially if they know how to grow stuff. So that's it. Take care, y'all.